get started with today's lesson. We are going to check the homework in just a moment, so you can open your books to page 252 if you have that. If you don't have your book, it's not a big deal because I'm recording this, so when you get your book, you can always come back and check the answers.
Okay.
But that will be on page 250. But what I want to do first before we check that is I want to go over how to do your lab assignments and then answer any questions you have about getting into my writing lab. And then I want to talk about due dates for your lab assignments, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. And I already saw, I believe, Gerardo and Tatiana, are both of you in my writing lab already?
Yes, I sign up.
Okay, I think I saw your name in there, so that's good. But Kimberly, it's okay if you don't have it yet because you're not.
Teacher, I have a question regarding to my
Yes,
writing lab. Do I have my book in order for me to access?
yes. Well, okay, yes and no. There's two things. When you get your book from the South Campus, it should have my writing lab access on here. So I think it comes like a separate card or something that
Mhm.
has a code on it. So it should come with your book. But just in case it doesn't, there is a way you can go online and get the access in a separate way. And that is buymylab.com. And why don't we do this to just take it step by step? If
Because
you,
I tried to register to my writing lab and I do have I already have my username and password, so I just
okay.
don't know how to start.
Oh, okay. So did you put in your access code?
No.
Okay, because you need to have that so that you can access this material. If you look at this page, can you guys see the page right here?
Yes,
The my
teacher.
Okay, this is what your page should look like. Um, as a matter of fact, I'm going
Mhm.
to switch. Oh, never mind. So Kimberly, why don't we do this? After class, I can show you in Blackboard exactly where the my class code is. It's in the
Okay.
lesson folder. It does tell you kind
Mhm.
of how to get into my class, but I believe you need to have an access code first, and then you can join my class with my class code.
Where should I find the access code in the book?
I think it's going to come with the book. Tatiana and
Okay.
Gerardo, how did you guys get the access code?
I got it
So
online.
Okay.
I got my book for South Campus and the access code comes with my book.
Okay.
And my
So there you go. That's two different
Yeah.
ways. So Gerardo got the access code with his book, and then Tatiana went online and just ordered an access code. So there's two ways you can do it.
Okay, so I'm
Um,
hoping that my book will be ready today.
yeah, and I already talked to the bookstore manager, and he said he has copies of the book. So they should be there already. Maybe they just need to pull it from the shelf and then, put your name on it. But why don't we email each other later? If you don't get your book by tomorrow, then email me and I can try to help you get it before our next class. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, teacher.
Okay. So yeah, I'm still available outside of class to help you get set up. Okay. So don't feel
Okay,
like you
thank you
have to
so
wait.
much.
Yeah. Okay, so keep this in the back of your mind. Once you get into my lab writing and you joined my class, okay? Because if you join my class, then I will be able to see your name in my writing lab and I can see your grades and all that. So after you've done that, you should see this tab. It says assignments due, okay? If you don't see this, it's because you're not in my class. You're just in like a general, activity class thing. So you should see assignments due. And you remember I talked to you guys last week about the path builder, and I wanted you to work on the writing path builder and the ESL skills. So these are going to show you what assignments are due. And go ahead and mute your microphones while I'm talking so everybody can hear. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So I'm hearing some papers rustling. So good. Okay, now that's better. Okay, so you can look at assignments due to find out what's coming up. This week, you do not have any lab assignments that are due, but you need to keep working in this program so you can prepare for your lab assignments. Gerardo was in my class last semester, and so he knows it is difficult to do those lab assignments because you have to prepare and practice first. Okay, so what you want to do when you're here, click on Learning Path, and then you're going to work in the Path Builder for writing skills and also the Path Builder for ESL skills. Those are the two main areas. Okay, so for example, if I click on Build Your Learning Path, then I start answering some questions here. These questions are designed to test how much you already know and what you need to keep working on. So you go through this, and like I said earlier, this right here is not your actual lab assignment that I'm going to grade. The Path Builder is not for a grade. It's just to prepare you so you can be ready to do the lab assignments. So you would answer whatever you want to answer, and then at the bottom, you go to the next question, and so on. And then when you're ready, you submit the test. Okay, so we work on that, and then let me show you what's coming up so you can prepare for the future. Okay, if you look at your calendar on the right side and you go to February, you see the red dot right here. This is showing you that this is an assignment that I'm going to grade. So you can see on February 12th, that's a Friday at midnight, that is when your first lab assignment is due. And it is an actual test. It's called a post-test. And it's writing skills W1.2. Now you're probably thinking, what does that mean, 1.2? Okay, because we have two different due dates here, and they're like this one is 2.11, 2.12. So what does all that mean? Well, I can click on this right now, and I can go to, or you should be able to, and maybe not. Well, I haven't done my path builder, so maybe I can't click on that. But let me show you what W1.2 means. Okay, so let's say I go over to my path builder, and I'm just going to finish the test just to show you how to get to where I'm trying to go. Okay, and these are going to probably be wrong, but that's okay. I'm just trying to get to, okay, let's say I finished my test. So now I did really bad. So I'm going to go to the learning path. And what you do when you're here at the top, you can see I'm in writing skills, okay? And I have what's called these modules. There are 8 of them. And do you remember I said the first lab assignment is W1.2, right? Does everybody remember that?
Mm-hmm.
1.2 means 1 is basic grammar. Okay, so look at all of these. We've got 1.1, 1.1, okay? And then if I go to subjects and verbs, it's 1.2, okay? So I'm in the basic grammar section. And this right here is going to be your test. This is what I'm going to grade. You can see again, it says February 12th. That's the due date. The test is the only thing that I'm grading. All of this that's before the test, the 1.2 overview, 1.2 animation, recall, apply, all of this is practice and preparation, okay? And Gerardo, can you tell us really quickly, what did you experience last semester that would help the class to be ready for the lab assignment? Can you tell us something?
Yes, so my experience in this area of the path builder was that when I started working on the path builder, I didn't start with with the exercise, and I went directly to the assignments, and was
Mm-hmm.
very difficult for me. So,
Yeah.
but for next exercise, I started working a little bit more in this area
Mm-hmm.
in the exercise. And when I went to the exercise, to the main exercise, was more easier for me, and I got better scores on that. So that was my experience.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you for answering that question. That was exactly what I was looking for. Because you guys have the assignments and I don't do these assignments. So it's good to know how it actually happens and how you feel about it. So um, he was saying this post-test assignment is really difficult if you don't do the practice activities before it. Okay, so for example, if I go to animation, um, and I click on this, it's going to give me some notes, some information. Okay, so I can play a video and it teaches me. It's kind of like a teacher. And then you go back to your learning path and you can start doing the recall, which is going to be questions. Okay, there's 10 questions and it will help you. If you get it wrong, Gerardo, does it tell you the right answer?
Yes.
Okay.
No, the main exercise, no.
Okay. Well,
I I
you're
don't
talking about
remember.
the test. The post test does not give you the answer.
Yeah, the post is, yeah, but the exercise does. The
Okay.
exercise, yeah.
Good. So the recall section, the practice section, they give you the answers. Okay. So you can look at your score and everything. Then around February 12th, maybe a day before, you can actually go in and do the test. And it's not timed. And if you need to stop in the middle of the test and come back, you can, as long as you finish the test before midnight on Friday. Okay, the end of the day, Friday. Okay, so any questions about this?
Not for me.
Okay, so once again, just to review, after you do Path Builder, okay, you finish those questions, then it will say next activity and you will have your learning path, okay? So once you click on the learning path, then it takes you to these topics. And our first topic for our lab assignment is going to be in the basic grammar because we're doing subjects and verbs, okay? Very simple kind of review. So that's where you go to begin your practice, subjects and verbs, and you should see W1.2, and then you see your assignment that's due here. Okay? These other things like nouns and pronouns, you can do these if you want. Okay? You can work through all of these, but I'm not grading these. Okay? So Tatiana and Kimberly, any questions?
No questions.
I have a question, teacher.
Yes.
Regarding to the due date of the assignment. For example, the due date is on January 29. Is it
Uh-huh.
okay or is it possible for me if I submitted the assignment as early as the exact due date? Or
You mean,
should I follow the due date, the date?
okay, the due date means that's the last possible day. but
Okay.
you can do the assignment before that if you want
Okay.
to. Yes, sure.
And
So
and
you
submit
you
it.
can do it. Yeah, and there's no problem with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. So today is the 25th. There's nothing due today, but it just says Path Builder because that's what I need to work on. And
Mm-hmm.
you have all this week and um, next week, and then after that is when the assignment is due. So you guys have about 3 weeks to get ready for that. And my suggestion is to do 15 to 30 minutes every day working in your learning path to work through those questions and practice activities. Okay, so yeah. All right, so any questions in the future, you guys can email me. If I need to, we can meet and I can take you back to this page if you're getting stuck on something and I can show you what you need to do. Okay, one more thing I want to show you before we check our homework is I want to go to the lesson folder and just show you guys that this Friday, the 29th, you do have a graded assignment. Okay, this is to tell you what's in the folder. You have the discussion board, but it's not for a grade. Okay, and then the red shows you what is for a grade. Okay, so we've got the sentence quiz that is due this Friday. So if you go all the way down, you will be able to see the sentence quiz and access that. Okay, so Kimberly, this is your first class. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to do this correctly. Okay, so
Okay.
first, yeah, you're going to open the quiz document. It's a Word document.
Mm-hmm.
Open it, look at the questions. There's 5 questions, and you can answer it on the Word document. You can type your answers and save it, or you can write your answers on paper and then come back and submit it. Okay, so once you're ready and you did your quiz, you need to submit it. So you're going to click on the red letters,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will take you to this page. Again, you have the Word document available here.
Yeah.
You have 2 choices to submit it. You can type your answers in Blackboard if you want to. That's where you click on Write Submission. Or you can get your Word document if you saved the quiz on your computer, and you can upload your document here. So these 2 buttons are the 2 ways that you're going to submit your quiz. You just pick one.
Okay.
Okay. This box at the bottom is just if you want to send me a message like I had trouble with number 1, I don't understand, or
Okay.
if you want to send me a message, you can add comments. Then at the bottom, you need to click submit. If you don't click submit, then I cannot see your answers.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a lot of information, but again, I'm recording this video, so if you have problems, you can come back and watch this section.
Okay.
Okay, so this week I'm preparing you in 2 ways. We're doing 2 things this week. We're talking about um, sentences, compound sentences, and we're going to practice writing those. And then we're also talking about a paragraph and how to organize the subtopics, okay? So we're working on both of those at the same time this week. Gerardo, do you have a question?
Yes, teacher. Before you start your class, teacher, I have a question. I got this material, that you were asking for in the
Oh, yeah.
syllabus, but I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah.
Okay, yes, I forgot about that. I made a note in the announcements page about that. The Vocabulary Plus is going to be optional work that you can do, and you can do it for extra credit. You can earn 10 points on any lab assignment. Okay, so why don't we do this? Because we're kind of running out of time. On Wednesday, I will show you the Vocabulary Plus website, and I'll show you how to do the assignments there, okay? So today we talked about lab assignments and you're doing your quiz, and Wednesday we'll talk about that vocabulary test, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so that one does not have any due dates really, so we'll do that. We'll talk about that one on Wednesday. Okay, thank you for reminding me though. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, are you open now to page 252? Is everybody there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what you guys got. So we're looking for, is this a compound sentence or a simple sentence? Now, Tatiana, can you tell me really quickly, what is the difference between a compound sentence and a simple sentence?
A simple sentence include subject and verb, and it starts with capital
Yeah.
letter and end with and end with sorry, how do you call it?
A period.
Correct, yeah, and period. And compound sentence can include two or more subjects with verb.
Okay.
And they can connect with comma and fanboys.
Okay, good. And it also has a capital letter in one period, right? So compound sentences, if you think of compound, think of two or more. So if you have a subject verb and then you have another subject verb pair, okay, and you want to put them in one sentence, then you're going to be making a compound sentence, and you need a comma with a fanboys, and fanboys is the same as a coordinating conjunction. So let's go to practice one, and I'm going to show you all of these things that we just said. Okay, so number one, Tatiana, what did you put? Compound or simple?
It's a compound.
It is compound, yeah.
Yeah, it's compound
Okay.
sentence because.
So show me the subject verb pairs and show me the comma and the fanboys.
People alter. Okay, many people permanently alter their body, and they do it for a variety of reasons. So the first it has two sentences. First sentence has which is subject people, alter is a verb. It has comma and is a fanboys conjunction.
Yeah.
Coordinating conjunction, and then second sentence has a subject which is they, subject, and do is a verb.
Okay, and you were almost perfect in everything you said. Very good. The only thing you said, though, that was wrong is you said after fanboys, they have another sentence. But it's actually not a sentence. It's an independent what? Clause.
Independent clause.
Remember that?
All right.
Okay. So independent clause is like a subject verb pair or, group of words together. And a compound sentence has two. Remember we said it has two subject verb pairs. That means it has two independent clauses. All right, and we're joining them together. If you think of a train, if you have like the beginning of the train and then you have all of the box cars on the train, you have to join them together, otherwise they won't go anywhere. Okay, so joining them together is the way of making a compound sentence. So we're going to use comma with and, like it does in number one. Now, Kimberly, you don't have your book yet, do you?
Yes, teacher.
So are you able to see what we're talking about? Do you see the page or anything, or
No.
are you lost? Okay, so let me help you get on board here. I'll just show you this for number one, and then we're going to go through the answers a little bit quickly, but at least you'll know what we're talking about. So I'm going to take us to this page in the book. Okay, so we said number 1 was compound. Okay, so once again, here's what we're looking at. Kimberly, can you see this practice 1?
No, teacher.
Oh, you don't see it?
No.
Can anybody else see this page?
No,
Oh,
teacher.
maybe oh, sorry. I forgot to click on share the screen. Okay. Now can you see it?
Yes, let me take a picture of it. So,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Take a picture of this, and then
okay.
you can follow along with what we're doing. Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna go down and take a picture of this. And then take a picture of this page.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, no problem. Let's do one more page, okay? Take a picture of this. This is practice 2. Okay, so now look at practice 1 again, Kimberly. Number 1, we were talking about the subject people, the verb
Mhm.
alter. Alter means to change something. Then we have another subject and verb. We have they and we have do. Okay, so that's creating 2 separate independent clauses. And we're going to put them together with comma and the word and. So that creates a compound sentence. Okay, Kimberly, do you see what we're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Gerardo, can you do number 2, Gerardo, and tell us about the independent clauses and the fanboys and all that?
Okay. So it's a compound sentence, and in the first independent clause, the verb is body. I'm sorry, the subject is body, and the verb is. And after America is a comma, and the fanboy is for,
Mm-hmm.
and the next subject is people, and the next verb is have. I think so. Have fun.
Very good. Yeah, we've got lots of words in between people and have, but people is the subject and have found is the verb. Good.
And that's it. I think
Okay,
so.
so good. So once again, this is a compound sentence. Number 2 is compound. And the reason is because we have 2 independent clauses. Independent clause means that it can be a sentence by itself. It is possible. So the first part, it says body altering is not unique to North America. That is independent. It can be a sentence. If we wanted to, we could put a period after America and we would have a complete sentence, okay?
Okay.
But we don't want to do that. We want to go ahead and put 2 clauses together. So that's why they're continuing the sentence after America. They have a comma, fanboys, which is for, and then they have another independent clause. Okay? So that creates a compound sentence. Does anybody have questions about number 2?
No.
Okay, good. Now, hopefully for you guys in level 2, this is review because we covered this in a lot of detail in level 1. So if you're doing your homework and you're just missing a lot of the answers, I want you to let me know. Send me an email or just talk to me after class because this is the foundation of level 2. So if we can't get this, then it will be difficult to continue on and then complete level 2, okay? So let me know if you're struggling so I can help you catch up. But here's the rest of the answers, and I want you guys to just mark these down. You can zoom in on the left side of your screen if you need it to be bigger. click on the little magnifying glass. And so here's the answers. If you have questions, you can let me know, all right? Number 3 is C. The fanboys in number 3 is the word and. Number 4 is S. It's a simple sentence. There's only one subject-verb pair in number 4. Number 5 is also S. Number 6 is C. The fanboys is and. Number 7 is C. The fanboys is so. Number 8, S. And number 9 is C.
C.
The fanboys is the word but in number 9. Okay? Anybody have questions? Go ahead and ask.
No, teacher.
Okay? And practice 2. Let's go to practice 2 next. This one's a little bit harder because you need to decide which of the fanboys you should use. All of the fanboys are on page 251 in the blue box. 251 in the blue box. They're coordinating conjunctions. Okay, there's 7 of them. So for number 1, we need to put and or but. Either one of those is correct. Then we use and, then but, then so, and then or. So that's number 1. Okay, any questions with number 1 on page 252 at the bottom? Okay, let's go to page 253 at the top. So the first answer is for, and then and or so, and then again and or so, and then or, and then so or and then yet or but, and then after the word photographed, you can choose of 3. There's 3 possible answers: for, and, or so. So you can see sometimes with the fanboys, more than one is optional. Okay, you have more than one option. So for, and, or so, and then for number 2, the last answer where it says she never refuses to pose. Oops, I forgot to put it here. It can be no, it needs to be nor. N-O-R, nor. So the last one for number 2 is nor. Okay. And then number 3, but or yet, and then and. Okay, now it's time for you guys to share your answers. Remember, I asked you to do one as an example, right? Just to show me that you know how to write. So on the screen here, number 1 was Tatiana, right? Is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tatiana, I want you to write a sentence for number 1. Gerardo, you can do number 2. And Kimberly, you can just copy what they write, and then we'll talk about them. They're just writing their own sentences from practice 3.
Mine doesn't work. I cannot write anything on it.
Oh, did you push the T? Did you click on the T at the top?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, click on the T and then go down to number 1. And while you guys are typing that, I am going to type a couple of notes at the bottom of the page. And remember, I'm going to be looking for the commas to be in the correct place, and I'm looking for subject and verb pairs. Okay, good. Just typing a couple of things at the bottom of your screen. Okay, so let's go back up to the top. So number one, they gave you the first part of the sentence. I don't have a tattoo, okay? And then you're supposed to add the second part of the sentence to make it compound. So Gerardo, you said, I don't have a tattoo, comma, nor do all my friends, okay?
I think
So you guys
that is,
group.
It's
Wait, what did you say?
this is
the
mine.
first one, Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tatiana, I'm sorry.
All right.
Tatiana, okay. Nor do, okay. The only change I'm going to make is I'm going to change all to any of. The reason we're doing any, have you ever heard of any that it goes with negative? Like
Right.
if I say, I don't have any money, okay? So the word nor is the fanboys, okay? So we've got, oops, no, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I can't get rid of it because it will take everything away. Okay, so nor is correct, all right? But it is a negative word. So it kind of means not. So that means we need to use any with that clause, okay? And I like how you did this one. You put the auxiliary verb do in the correct place. So nor do any of my friends. Okay. Actually, it's not an auxiliary, it's the main verb. But you put it in the correct place because we need to put the verb before the subject, after nor. Okay, so that one is correct. Number two, body piercing is common, comma, and then we have our fanboys, but I wouldn't like on me. Okay, Gerardo, this is good. Yeah, we need to add a word. After like. I wouldn't like one on me. Okay?
Okay.
Good. So on both sides, we've got a subject, a verb. Then we have another subject and another verb. And that creates a compound sentence. But we're going to join them together correctly. And in both cases, we're using comma with a fanboy. Okay, anybody have questions about these?
I have a question, teacher.
Yes.
The subject for number 2 is the body, right?
It's actually piercing.
The subject
The subject is piercing, but it is, you can count body with it, like body piercing.
okay.
And the reason why is because the body, we cannot say the body is common. It's actually the piercing that's common.
Okay.
So what I would do, and sometimes you'll just see what we call a compound subject. It's when you have two words. Really, we can, actually not compound subject. It's a two-word subject. You're including, it's a complete subject. You're including body with the full subject.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we have to use piercing as part of the subject. Okay, and by the way, guys, this ing on piercing, it does not mean that it's a like a progressive verb, right? What is this called? Does anybody know this type of word?
Adjective. Adjective.
Actually,
Subject.
body would be the adjective describing the type of piercing. A piercing is the subject, but what type of word is it? It starts with a G.
Is gerund.
Okay.
Gerund.
Gerund as a subject.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a gerund right there.
Because it
Okay?
ends on ing.
Yeah, it ends with the ing and it's acting as a subject. It's
Okay.
not acting as progressive verb. Okay, so good question. Any other questions about 1 or 2?
No.
Okay, so that was your homework, and we are ready to do the lesson for today. We're going to talk about another way to make a compound sentence. Okay, so look at the notes in the middle of your screen. It says the question, what is the structure for compound sentences? So structure means the parts of the sentence. Okay, so to review, here it is. We have to have an independent clause on the left side of the comma and an independent clause on the right side. And then we have, in the middle, we have the comma with fanboys. You just pick one of those fanboys words, okay? Today, we're going to look at this second part, okay? This second part here. What do you notice that's different? After my independent clause, okay, this is another way to make a compound sentence. What do you notice that's different after the independent clause?
semicolon.
Semicolon, yes,
It's no
semicolon.
fanboys. Yeah, it's semicolon.
So when I have a semicolon, okay, semicolon is this little thing right here. It's like a dot, and then underneath is, it looks like a comma. That's a semicolon, okay? So what do you notice about this? Oh, shoot, I just got rid of it. I'm still learning how to work with this. Did y'all copy that already?
Yeah.
It doesn't allow me to erase just one thing sometimes, or maybe I'm just not doing it right. So let me type this part again. Okay, so with the semicolon, what we're going to have after that is a special kind of word. Did anybody read ahead and look at it? What needs to come after the independent clause?
However, those words.
Yep,
A transition word.
transition word, right.
Transition word.
Okay, I'm typing in here. Hold on a second. Okay, so there's actually two things you can do after the semicolon. If you have your book, I want you to look at page 254. And Kimberly, do you want to take a picture of the book?
Yes,
Oh,
teacher. Please.
oh, if I take you to take a picture, then this is going to erase.
Oh,
Okay, I will show you the picture in just a moment, okay? But you can write down the page 254, and then you can come back and look at that when you have it. But the rest of those of you who have your book, page 254, look what it says in the gray box. Use a semicolon to join related ideas. So this is one way to use a semicolon. So we could have a sentence like, some societies have no distinct word for art. Then we have a semicolon, and it says art is an intrinsic part of their cultural fabric. So those are two related ideas. I'm going to give you another example on the screen here. Okay. So look at my example in the red letters. Some people speak many languages, and then I put a semicolon and then a space. They grow up in communities that are multilingual. So am I still talking about the same thing?
yes.
Yes.
I am. Yeah, I didn't really change my my topic or my idea. I'm just giving more information about the
Mm-hmm.
first topic. So they speak many languages. Well, I'm going to give you more information about that. So I'm going to add an independent clause that has a similar idea. They grow up in communities that are multilingual. So I'm still talking about many languages. The second idea is similar to the first idea. The second clause is similar to the first clause in the topic or the idea. So this is one way that you can use a semicolon to make compound sentence. So I'm going to put over here just to remind you, compound. So that is a compound sentence, but it does not have comma with fanboys. Okay? Is everybody following me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but you need to remember that the two sides of the semicolon need to be similar about the same topic. Okay, just giving information about the same topic or idea. Or in your book, it says they need to be related. Okay, so you guys are going to practice that for homework. Sometimes it's tricky to do this, and to be honest, it's not very common, okay, to do these. We don't do these a lot, but it is possible. Okay, the second example is the one that I put on my previous screen. Independent clause, and then I have a semicolon, okay? And then I've got two things. I need to have two things on this side. And you guys already gave me the answer. The first part needs to be, what is the word called?
Transactional word. Transactional expression.
Transitional.
Word, yes. Now, what in the world is a transition word? Look at page 256 at the top. There's a blue box. And Kimberly, you can just write down this page number,
Yes, teacher.
256, page 256 in the blue box. Transition word, okay? Then what comes after that? We have a little comma. And then, Gerardo, what's going to come after the comma?
Transition word comes is an
Yeah,
introductory word.
after the transition, after that comma, look at page 256. Can you find out what's going to come next?
Oh, transition expression.
Yeah, after the transition.
Mm, the complete idea, or
Yeah, independent clause.
oh, it's gonna be independent clause, subject,
Subject and verb, yeah.
verb.
Okay, so we still have to have two independent clauses in each sentence, compound sentence, right, class? Remember, to make it compound, it needs to have two independent clauses. So that's what we're doing. And I wrote an example sentence under this one. So let's take a look at that. It says, some people speak many languages. That's an independent clause. Then I have a semicolon and I put a space, and then I have a transition word or phrase. Now notice that it's not capital. The for example is not capital. Why? Anybody tell me why?
Because it's the same sentence.
Right, because remember, there's only one period to end a sentence. And in this one, there's a period after home, okay? So I don't need to capitalize, for example. I'm still
And
continuing my
and
sentence.
it is
Yes.
a transition word. Usually transition word, it's not don't start in capital letter.
Well, you can, that's a good question or comment. You can actually start a sentence with a transition. It is possible.
Okay.
Okay, but in our examples, we're trying to use it in the middle of a sentence and to make it compound. So we're not going to capitalize it. If you look at page 257 at the bottom of the page in the gray box, they do give you an example of a transition that's capitalized, therefore, at page 257 at the bottom. So it is possible to make them capital, but we need to have a period before it instead of a semicolon. So for our practice here, we're going to make a compound sentence. So we're not going to capitalize the transition. And then what comes after the transition? We put a comma. So for example, comma. And then Tatiana, what comes after the comma?
Independent clause.
Independent clause. That means this can be a sentence if we wanted it to be. Like, my husband grew up speaking 4 languages in his home. That is a complete idea. So it's got a subject, it's got a conjugated verb, my husband, and then grew up, okay? And it's a complete thought. Okay, and the reason I'm using for example as my transition is because I'm giving you a specific example of the point I made before that. So some people speak many languages. That's a general idea. Then I want to give you one specific example of that, so I use the transition for example. Okay? Is everybody with me, or what? You guys have questions?
No questions.
No, sure.
Okay, so let's do a couple together as practice, okay? Look at practice 6. And Kimberly, I'm going to take you to show you this page on the screen, okay? But Gerardo and Tatiana, I want you guys to do practice 6, numbers 1, 2, and 3. Just do 1, 2, and 3, and then stop.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm going to get rid of this screen, and I will take you over to Kimberly. I will take you to the book page.
Okay. Hold on, teacher. I was lost. What happened?
Okay. What do you need?
Um, I'm not on the blackboard. I don't know what happened.
Oh, um, you got out of black, but I can still hear you.
Yes, but I'm not on the blackboard.
Okay, sometimes it happens with our internet reception. So you could just get out and then try to join back in if you want. Gerardo and Tatiana, do you guys have number 1, 2, and 3 for practice 6?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to finish. Yeah, I finished.
Okay, so what I'm going to do while we're waiting on Kimberly, I want you guys to share together, just talk together about 1, 2, and 3 and see what you guys came up with for answers, okay? So go ahead.
Okay, Gerardo, I can start. I think, like during the era of the Roman Empire, soldiers received tattoos on their hands, semicolon. Consequently, period, deserting soldiers could be easily identified.
Where did you put the semicolon?
In front of consequently, and then to hands, their hands, then semicolon, consequently, period.
Okay.
You can do second. Do you mind?
Yes. Yes, I'm working on it.
Uh,
I'm back, teacher. Sorry about that.
No problem. We're still working on practice 6, so I'm going to share my screen with you, Kimberly, so you can see what we're
Okay.
doing.
Okay, I'm going to take a picture of it.
Okay, Tatiana,
uh-huh. Yeah.
for, for the second one, I think the semicolon is after profession and comma after instant, for instance.
And then comma.
I think so.
Do you have comma after instance?
I think so. For the second one.
Okay. So third one has a semicolon after tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Then for example, after for example, we have comma.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, guys, I'm going to interrupt you. You guys got all of those correct. Good job. So
So,
I'm going to, yeah, go ahead. Bravo? Question?
so, so on the first one, what's gonna be the semicolon?
This, what was your question again?
On where is the right place to add the semicolon on the first question?
On number 1,
Uh-huh.
we put a semicolon after hands.
Okay.
So if you can see my screen here, I just have a picture of that page, and I
Okay.
put in red, the red marker, I put semicolon after hands, and then we have a transition consequently. Consequently is the same as a result.
Oh.
And then I have a comma after that. And then number 2, we have more recently, tattoos represented a person's spiritual profession.
Profession. You're gonna put the semicolon there.
Yeah, good. Because on that side, on the left side, that's a complete thought.
Yes.
It has a subject, it has a verb, it's a complete idea.
And
And
for
then,
instance is the transition word.
good. Yeah. And then on the right side, we have to make sure we've got subject verb pair. We've got sailors, and then we had. Okay, so that's a complete thought as well. All right, and then number 3. Whoops, that's pretty bad looking, but there's a semicolon after tattoos and a comma after example. Okay, anybody have a question about this one?
No, for me, teacher.
No.
Okay, that was just a quick try to see if we're getting what we talked about. Now I want us to do another thing. I've got some clauses that I'm going to put on the screen here. And then you guys are going to work together to move the clauses around and to add semicolons or transitions or whatever we need to make complete sentences, okay? So let me type these up here.
Is to make.
Miss Hannah, do we need to put all these 3 independent clauses in one and make one compound sentence with all 3, or we can use only 2?
Well, we could put all 3 in one sentence, but what I think we'll do is make them, let's just put 2.
Okay.
Let's just put 2. So here's what we're going to do together. If you see at the bottom, I have 3 independent clauses, okay? And what I want you to do is at the top of your screen, you have a little arrow. And if you click on the arrow, then you can start to move these around, okay? So I want you guys, maybe one person can do the moving or whatever you want, but I want you to move these and I want you to create compound sentences. Now I have to type another one. I think we're going to do this one twice.
I can do like first one.
Okay, go ahead. So move it around.
How can I add semicolon and transition word there?
Okay, so if you want to do that,
like this. Okay.
yeah, use the T.
Okay, and then
And does anybody want to work on number 2 or whatever? You guys can talk together. I'll give you a couple minutes to work together, okay? I'm going to turn off my microphone.
Okay.
So my first sentence, my mom enjoys gardening. In fact, she makes a lot of meals with food from the garden. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a good sentence.
Yes, it is. What do you think
Or,
about?
yeah, that sounds good. We need a period in the end of the sentence.
Yes. Sorry.
Or we could do like, I don't like being outside. However, enjoys gardening. Or
No, sorry. I'm trying to
it can
put
be,
the. Well,
we can reverse it. I think it sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here.
Kimberly, what do you think?
Yeah, go ahead. Kimberly, what do you think?
I was just confused about what you said regarding the transition words. However, is it always the transition word is in the middle, or you can put it also on the end of your sentence?
Okay, great. Oh, at the end of the sentence. Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
were talking about before. I thought you said the beginning of the sentence. Okay, what do you guys think? She's asking, is it okay to put a transition word at the end of the
because here the example for
It
number 2
depends on
is
sentence.
my mom enjoys gardening. However, I don't like being outside. So what if you will say, my mom enjoys gardening. I don't like being outside, however. So I was just thinking if you can put it in the end or in the beginning, or the transition word is always on the middle.
Okay, what do you think? I'm asking the class to see if they already know too.
I think it depends on sentence. Depends on sentence. In our situation now, since we're using it in the middle, we're supposed to use it in the middle. We're connecting to simple sentences, and but it depends on sentence, and it's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes we can use it in the end, or we can use it in the beginning. It just depends on sentence.
Okay, that is true. You can put it at the end, but it has to be at the end of the second clause
Okay.
or the second idea. So if you notice what I created here at the bottom, I have two separate sentences, two simple sentences. And I use the transition after the comma and the second sentence. So yes, it is possible. So this one is not a compound sentence at the bottom, okay? You guys did great. My mom enjoys gardening, semicolon. In fact, comma, she makes a lot of meals with food from the garden. So in fact is a way of giving more information about the first part, like more specific information, sometimes surprising information even. So that one's good. My mom enjoys gardening. However, I don't like being outside. Yeah, that's good. And you guys put periods at the end. So we got check.
Miss Hannah, have a question.
Yeah.
Can I say I don't like being outside, however, my mom enjoys gardening? Is it correct sentence too or no?
Yes. Yeah. If you, let's say you're sharing information, you're comparing and contrasting you and your mom in a paragraph thing, and you want to talk about both of you guys, yes, you can do that. I don't like being outside. However, my mom enjoys
Mm,
gardening.
okay.
My mom enjoys being outside. Yes, we could switch those around.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is play around with these types of sentences with our fanboys and with our transitions. And part of your quiz that's due on Friday is you guys are going to write some of your own sentences. Okay,
Okay.
and you're going to take the topic that I give you. I'm going to give you a topic in your quiz, and you're going to write two of your own sentences. One of them will have a semicolon, and one of them will have fanboys. And you guys are going to kind of show me that you can create your own. So, yes, these are good. On Wednesday, we will do probably one more practice so you can write your own and check it with me. Um, So are there any more questions about semicolons before I share one more thing? Any
No.
questions?
Not for me.
No, teacher.
Okay, so one more thing I want to show you today is I want to talk about chapter 1 of your book. And chapter 1, we're not going to go through page by page and look at all of the exercises because what I want to do is focus on one idea, and that is identifying what the paragraph is and then how to begin writing. Okay, so if you want to, you can go through chapter 1 and look at it talks about planning, preparing, know your audience and purpose and all that. But what I want to focus on is if your teacher gives you a topic, what are you supposed to do? What's the first step? So let's talk for a minute about what a paragraph is, okay? So we're talking in more general terms now. We're not talking about specific sentence structure. I want to talk about a paragraph. So who can give me a good definition of a paragraph?
Mm. I can do it.
Okay.
Uh, well, a paragraph is a group of sentences that they are focused on a main idea, I think so, and it should be a topic sentence, and a conclusion and supporting details, I think so.
Okay. It sounds like you had a good year last semester. That
I remember
that
a
told
little.
you. Yeah, a paragraph is a group of sentences. So maybe 6, 7, or 8 sentences. They're all about one main topic. Paragraphs have 3 parts: a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence or conclusion sentence. And I'm going to give you a reference so you can kind of do some reading on your own to help you look at this. Again, page 2. Page 2, when you get your book or if you have it, there's an example of a paragraph and the 3 parts of a paragraph. Okay? But by level 2, you kind of are supposed to already know, what a paragraph is. Now, I want you to click the raise your hand button at the bottom of the screen. Raise your hand if you have already written a paragraph before. If you have done this before, Click on the raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen. Okay, Gerardo has. Okay, Kimberly, you've written a paragraph.
Yes.
And Tatiana, did you click on the button yet? Have you
No, and I'm not going.
wait, what did you say?
And I'm not gonna do it.
You're not gonna do it. Why?
No, I need to refresh my memory.
You don't want to commit to the button yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tatiana, you wrote a paragraph in the discussion board, and I commented on it today. So I can actually certify that you have written a paragraph before. Now, your format of your paragraph was not correct. It wasn't kind of designed correctly, but you have all the main ideas and points. So, Tatiana, I think you have written a paragraph, okay? So, what we're going to do before we go today is we're going to practice looking at topic and subtopic.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get an idea of what these are and what we're supposed to do with them. Topics are going to be general things. Like if I said 5 ways of being a healthy person, that's a topic. Or if I said reasons why people come to the United States, that's a topic. Okay? Subtopics. Anybody know what a subtopic is?
I'm a little confused about the topic and subtopic.
Okay, good. That's what we're here for. We're going to talk about it. Anybody else know what a subtopic is?
Can I guess, teacher?
Yeah, guessing is good. I like that.
Okay, I think subtopic, it is the specific reasons that is related to the topic.
Okay. Specific reasons. So, yes, topics will be general and subtopics are going to be more specific. So if, for example, if my topic is reasons why people come to the United States, that is something that your teacher gives you. Your teacher gives you a topic. Your job is to come up with specific subtopics for that same topic. So examples of subtopics for my topic here are get a job, that's one subtopic. Get an education, that's one subtopic. Anybody think of another subtopic, another reason why people come to the United States?
To establish a home.
Establish a home, yep, good. Anything else?
Or sometime they just like me, I got married with a American citizen, so I have to move in.
Okay. So you of course come over here. Okay.
But
Marriage, you know, marriage or starting a family, yeah.
Yeah.
What about refugees? Why do refugees come to the United States?
Well, because they are in dangers in their country.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're escaping violence
Yeah,
or
there's yeah.
yeah, they are
for
basically
healthcare.
yeah, healthcare might be another one. So as we're brainstorming, that's what brainstorming is. We're coming up together, we're sharing ideas, and we are all sharing examples of subtopics. Now, subtopics, you might have 10 different subtopics. You know, we mentioned get married, escape violence, get an education, get a job. So we can have lots of different subtopics as we're brainstorming, but what we want to do before we start writing a paragraph is we want to choose the best of the subtopics, okay? And how do we choose the best? Well, we're going to look for subtopics that are each different from each other. Okay, so again, general would be reasons why people come to the United States. Specific would be the subtopics: get a job, start a family. Okay, think of it like an umbrella, where at the top you have the big idea, and then you put the smaller subtopics underneath. Okay, so they're being sheltered by the big idea. So, class, if we're looking at these subtopics here, okay, which ones do you think are very similar to another one? Like, which two can you say are kind of almost the same?
Start a family, get married.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to type this. We don't want to put both of these under the umbrella. So we do not want to say get married and start a family in my paragraph, because those are very similar. You know, when you get married, I mean, kind of, it's like family, right? You have your partner, and then, you know, starting a family can also include marriage and kids.
Yeah, it's like, it's like it's given that when you get married, of course, you will absolutely, definitely start a family.
Well, some people don't have kids, but you can still be considered a family if you're, you know, two partners together, right?
Yeah.
Can be a family. Okay, so that is the main point I want to make today. And then Wednesday, we're going to continue with this idea, and you guys will show me some examples of topic and subtopic. But for now, I just wanted you to see these 2 points at the bottom. Don't choose two subtopics for your paragraph that are very similar, and make sure you choose 3 subtopics that are different from each other. So 3 is the magic number. So what I might do under my umbrella, I might choose start a family, and I might choose get a job, and maybe either get an education or escape violence, because those are all different from each other. Okay? So what you do is you pick 3 of the best ones, 3 that are very different from each other. And then later, like next week, we're going to start actually writing paragraphs, and I'll show you how to take your subtopics and start to create a really nice paragraph. Okay, anybody have questions about this?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Okay, so let me give you your homework. At the bottom of the screen here. So for homework, I want you to do practice 4. And practice 5. But on practice 5, I only want you to do number 1, okay? So practice 4, all of it. Practice 5, just number 1.
What page is that, teacher?
It's page 254 to 258. I'll
By
write
the
down
way,
the page.
they send me email that I can pick up my books today.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. So pages 254 to 258, you're going to do practice 4 and then practice 5, number 1, and then all of practice 6 and 7 and practice 8, number 1. Okay? And then also I want you to work on the path builders. The path builders in my writing lab. I would like for you to finish both of those path builders by the end of this week. Okay? And then you can go in and start preparing for your lab assignment, because remember you have to go through the animation, the recall, and do the practice activities. Okay, so anybody have questions about the homework or what you need to be doing?
No, teacher.
Okay. Just a heads up, the discussion board is due Friday, this Friday. Discussion board is not graded, but it's in Blackboard, and you get to look at a topic and subtopics that I created, and then you're going to critique it. You're going to give me your opinion. Do you think these are good subtopics? Or if they are, why? If they're not good, why? So it's kind of a discussion. It will take a few days for us to get our complete answer. So if you type in something and you want to post your opinion, do that, and then we come back later and check, because each of us are going to give our own opinions.
Okay.
Miss Hannah, so I did everything wrong over there. I should answer on your questions. Am I correct? I did everything wrong. Okay,
Right.
now I understand.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
gave me a nice paragraph, but we're not writing a paragraph yet. We're just talking about what do you think about these ideas. And before we start writing, we need to be able to think critically about subtopics, and are they good, are they not good, and why. And maybe if you're really good at it, Tatiana, you can help one of your classmates. So that's the purpose of the discussion board, is to help each other so we can all get on the same idea about, how to begin writing.
Now I
Okay.
understand. Thank you.
Okay, guys, so that's a lot of stuff to work on, and we're done for today. So I will see you again here on Wednesday. And let me know through email if you have questions as you're doing your work. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you, guys.
much.
And